ways. But as we move into Game 3, we'll see a very different draft. Locke always warps games like this in such a way, and now that he's gone, we'll see a little bit more action in Game 3.
Yeah, and also a bit of a different ban phase as well, I think. With the Orianna already taken away and a lot that has been used up already, could be an interesting one as far as what this is going to look like.
I was going to say Lulu is
ban.
The first ban I'm thinking of right now is Lulu, and it just warps all the lanes, right? So take that one away. Lucian, I think, might be banned by Hanwha Life Esports as well. We'll see if they do opt for that. They don't have to ban it first. It'll be the Cassiopeia. Rakan taking away a little bit of Engage as well here.
Yeah, and one of Delight's best picks as well. But also, what I feel like T1 are doing is opening up the ban list, right? Making sure that they have their pick of the litter when it comes to this first pick. Poppy, Bard, Nocturne, Jace.
Lucian.
Yeah, Lucian, another huge one. And I don't know whether HLE are going to very comfortably pick away the Milio, right? And I think that Lucian probably should be banned, to be perfectly honest.
So. I think that it'll be the last ban here for HLE. Picking the Milio away is so tough. We've seen teams try and struggle with it. We've seen it work occasionally, but it usually doesn't, as
Nautilus.
Two engages and the Lulu we talked about, so triple support taken away from Delight here, so a lot of tools removed.
So is the Bard banned? Is like Ezreal banned, like Nocturne? The Skarner was banned in the last game, but I think Poppy is also really worth a mention.
Guys, this is just really scary for HLE
yeah.
right now.
I think the Lucian first pick is probably what T1 are looking for, because not only there is the ban, I think it's actually a really smart ban, but now there is so much up and available here for T1 to go for, and the Bard will be locked in.
There's no Caitlyn, and there's no Jhin.
But there is Ezreal.
There is
and
Ezreal.
Is Gumayusi going to pick it away?
It's got to be Ezreal Karma, right? Like, you've got to be able to play Ezreal here. If you can't lock this here, the most, I would say, potent AD carry pick in the meta, then you're going to have a bad time.
And I mean, Gumayusi can play it.
Yeah.
It's just not one of his favorites, right?
Yeah,
he hasn't played it all season long just yet. Or at least this round robin.
I think he absolutely can play it, and he will. Even though he doesn't prefer it, he is going to lock it in. Rel would be a shocker. Now, they have to find Engage elsewhere if they do go for the Karma, and that is at a premium right now, Engage. So we will see what they do end up picking here for Delight in this game.
Yep. All right. Maybe the reason why Gumayusi didn't want to play Ezreal is that he has a perfect 50-50 win rate on the champion right now.
It's going to be ruined no matter what.
Exactly. So he just wanted to preserve that for as long as possible. Currently 12-12. But the Ezreal Karma is possibly pushing that closer to 51 rather than 49.
Looking likely, because I don't know what Paze is going to play with this Bard right now to be able to salvage this match.
Kai'Sa Bard, baby!
Oh, no, 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 no. That sounds miserable. Do not do that.
Kai'Sa Bard.
Do not do it. Do not say it. Do not speak it.
Nocturne Bard, baby!
Is he going to play something like weird here? I start to wonder, something really aggressive. Like, I don't think Callista Bard is very good.
Zeri Bard?
I do wonder.
You could call it Berry.
Maybe.
That'd be cute.
I mean, he could play Yunara in this draft. Varus is still available, but is going to struggle in this lane matchup to get out, but we'll have a lot of power later.
I love me some Varus. This could also be flexed to the top lane, and I do kind of like that about it. They could flex Varus to the top lane if it's a decent matchup, and then play a mage in the bottom lane if they would like to.
They could do that, for sure. See what this final pick here is going to be. I think it's going to be Kanavi's pick, which almost feels like it's going to be Xin no matter what, if they feel like that's enough engage. Ooh, that's not engage. It is a lot of burst damage, but there's not a lot of CC. In fact, there's no CC.
Yeah,
I mean, Karma could.
I would have really liked the Xin. I would have also kind of liked the Wukong here as well. But
yeah, Wukong would have been great into Nocturne, and it's great CC. I actually really like that angle.
Kind of fun one.
What about Annie? I think Annie probably going to get banned by T1 in this draft. I don't think they want Zeka to have that.
Sivir. Not believing that this Varus is going towards the bottom lane.
I think a good read.
And also gives Zeus the ability to pick something that forces or could potentially force the Varus top, and then have FaZe pick something awkward towards the bottom side of the map. We'll see what they do decide to do.
I'd like to see an Annie ban here from T1 and the Akali instead. We don't know what Faker's planning on playing here, so he might be tipping his hand a little bit with that Akali ban. Surely not an Azir pick in current year.
Do you know what I want? I want Zeka to play Sylas. I feel like Paranoia and Chains of Corruption are pretty good ultimates. And it's Zeka. He's pretty cool on Sylas. Faker also, I mean, he's got a skin on Sylas. He's pretty good at the champion as well. But don't know whether you get as much value from the Sylas when there's a Karma on the Rift.
Lissandra.
That's a cool ban, actually.
Pretty telling that he wants to play something aggressive here. Potentially the Ahri. Ahri Nefiri, not my favorite mid-jungle synergy.
Yeah, you are reliant on the charm a lot. Especially when you have no engage from the bottom lane as well. I imagine that HLE are going to be priced into outranging or finding some engage elsewhere. The Mundo going to be taken away from Zeus. Yeah, pretty good ban.
Really like that because it's so problematic, so annoying to deal with that front line when you're playing Varus. And so let's see what we're going to see. Annie really, it works for me. It's an easy CC setup, a lot of burst damage. You already have the burst setup, but he likes the Sylas angle you mentioned.
Echo would be fine too. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen.
Oh, that's Syndra. That's Annie. Aww.
I think Syndra is the worst option. This Ahri is tricky. It is really tricky.
Okay, what does Faker play into it? That's the question.
He could play Sylas into it himself, but not the best set of ultimates overall, but works with their composition really well. If he just plays Victor, I also think that's okay.
All right, well, the Rumble first here for Zeus. That's a pretty powerful option, especially with the Mundo now removed.
Doran's pick is always going to be blind in this draft, so picking a strong one feels really good.
Oh, I do think picking Rumble is kind of dangerous, though, Wolf, because we have seen the rise of the Ornn counterpick. It was Keen that played so well in it, I'm pretty sure, in the most recent time that we saw it. But that gives them an engage option.
Yeah, it does. It really does. I'm kind of feeling what you're saying here. Let's find out what's happening ultimately. Is it just going to be the Victor? I think it's fine. I think it's totally okay because of the Ahri pick.
Yeah.
And now they just kind of scale. Like, just because you have Nocturne doesn't mean you have to build a dive comp. You really don't. You could just use it defensively. You could play around Bard ults and timing. So Bard ultimate is so far, the range is so long that the Nocturne can follow on it very easily. So can Equalizer from such a far way away.
It's interesting, though, because neither of these teams really have engaged outside of Painter throwing his body at them.
Cassante over Ornn is...
I don't know whether I like this as much.
It's okay.
Okay, that's a Cho'Gath! And even though it's not on, it's way more fun! And we've got Huni on the desk!
It's kind of like, it feels like in this draft, to a certain extent, it's almost like it's a budget Mundo.
Yeah,
super
kind of.
tanky. It's going to be very annoying to deal with. It is so large that it's hard to stop it from getting to your carries.
It's also hard to click on the carries if he's standing on them when he's that big.
Yeah, I'm not sold on this pick, but it is very fun. It is very exciting. And it works really well as a response to the Bard as well in team fights. You just get right on top of the action during that stasis. Matchup-wise, not a common one to see that into the Rumble. And it is going to be really on Doran, I think, to space this correctly, make sure it doesn't get caught by any big knockups. You don't want to be trading into the Cho'Gath. If you start losing those, get silenced, you're going to have a really bad time, and then you're just going to get eaten. And then we're going to see this Nefiri pay a few visits. I think we'll be seeing the Nefiri top side in this game no matter what, as that is the easiest lane to gank for Hanwha Life Esports here in this draft. For T1, sit back, scale up, play the slow game.
Yep, and just hope that the Cho'Gath doesn't get too large. Some interesting drafts on both sides of the rift here moving into this game number 3. It's hard to adjudicate when things are a little bit weird what's going to happen. Let's get into it. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So, if HLE win this, it's going to be their first blue side win since returning to Korea.
Wow.
Which is an interesting thing.
That's an interesting stat.
Yeah. They haven't been on the blue side all that often. They have been picking the first pick. Therefore, they are often just heading towards red. But we'll see what they can make of it here as Gumayusi back on the Ezreal. What feels like a very long time since he has been on this one. See how it is going to do as Paze and Keria are getting pushed away for now. First Mystic shot thrown at an enemy champion is going to connect. Second one misses. 50%, ladies and gentlemen. Same as his win rate. We love to see it.
Zeka not enjoying level 1 too much. I'm curious to see how Guma performs on this Ezreal, because like you said, we haven't seen it in a while. Turn on that damage.
The Vorpal spikes. Let's get him out. Yeah. I remember when that ate through your mana like crazy, man.
Yeah. It's still, you know, it's expensive, but not as expensive as it used to be.
I mean, like at least because it used to just be a straight up toggle.
Yeah.
And you just could do nothing else with it, which is kind of funny. And I think if you play him in Classic, that's how he is. It's kind of funny thinking about Cho'Gath, one of the least changed champions in League of Legends.
Yeah, I haven't encountered
still having some changes. I don't know whether he is in Classic.
Yeah, I actually don't know.
I'm not really much of a Cho'Gath guy.
He's not enjoying this moment here as Doran's going to get his heat exactly where he wants it.
Yeah, that is going to be a lot of damage from that Rupture coming on through, though. Level 3 is at least claimed here by Zeus, who does move past the turret and will be able to get himself back.
Even with the Varus pick here, you do not win this lane into the Karma Ezreal. So Hayes just taking TP is just going to try to weather the storm right now. As Doran will hit this harpoon right off the rip as Zeus shows back up to the lane. And Doran is 4-0 on this Rumble pick. I mean, a stat I didn't expect to see. He's always been a pretty good Rumble player, but...
How is he Rumble versus Cho'Gath, though?
Yeah, I don't know that specific number.
Yeah.
I don't actually have that data.
Checkmate, Wolf.
But I guess we'll find out together, won't we? Delight, I guess, in the end, successfully stopped Paze's back.
Yeah. All right.
See if he'll get his back stopped by Keria. He did.
Well, this time. So far, so good on the Ezreal, though. Going for a little bit of a reset here as Paze has taken Teleport, which will allow him to go for a reset a little bit more comfortably.
This is actually, by the way, okay, we have a little bit of a fight here, but Delight stopped the back, but then got his back stopped like 3 times, and now it's going to be Guma alone here into this forest for a little while.
Yeah,
so that could be annoying.
Coming on over as he does take the Rift Scuttler, but is he going to keep himself alive? That's the question. Gets the fear onto Kanavi, who has to flash to get out of the way. There is the Rupture landing, but Zeus is in so much trouble. Needs the auto flash, goes over the wall, but Painter went in a different direction. Good defensive Rupture comes down as Zeka will get that face check and takes out Painter to even out the trade. The first blood still goes over to T1.
Very, very tense moment there. That fight was on a knife's edge. They're luckily still able to get Painter there, but that was incredibly close. Zeus just wasn't able to guess where the flash went there from Painter. Now he's down flash as well. On the play, a lot of flashes burned. Delight trying to hold this wave.
Will successfully do so, at least with these caster minions. So that is good for Zeus to try and hold this wave here. Keria clearing out some vision. Throwing a drink over the wall there. Pays if he does need it. Is Gumayusi not going to be able to hit the Mystic Shot? Does hit the rest.
So I think part of why Delight went topside there was because he and Guma got a little desynced on those backs. And that's very annoying for Guma right now, fighting himself 1v2. But going back to this play here, Zeus comes over, Rupture goes down, but with Doran coming over here, the early game damage of this Cho'Gath, especially when Jungler is feared here, is not that high. And as you can see, Painter gets over the wall. That ward is T1. Zeus didn't know where Painter was. Man, they were trying to make something of this, but ultimately he will go down. Zeka picks up the kill. Zeka with a nice punish. It's good that he gets the money in this exchange.
Yep, especially when he takes all of that damage from the Arcane Storm here in this mid lane. Faker just doing it for a little bit of pressure. That kill helping Zeka as far as the gold is concerned, but he is 10 CS down against Faker, who just stuck around in the mid lane. Kanavi coming on over. Keria looking for the Cosmic Binding, doesn't quite find it. As Delight looking for a pincer maneuver. Zeka with the inside track as there's a teleport back from the Varus. Painter getting taken down low. The flash forward from Zeka, but he's unable to kill Painter. Still Kanavi able to claim Keria's life. Now Painter coming down. Zeka gets his way in. Drake is going to be secured by HLE as well, but Pays landing the damage. Zeka dancing around the fight though, and Pays cannot kill anyone. They all just escape on a sliver of health. Maybe Delight will go down as this Blight is stacked up. And there's the flash in. They do manage to turn it around though. And it's only the sacrifice of the Karma. HLE moved to 5-2.
I don't understand why T1 wanted to full send on this team fight, especially when you consider how they played games 1 and 2, so slow, so controlled. This was the exact opposite. And they don't have the control over the mid lane. Faker is super low here. This is not a 3v3 that you can win. And by the time Pays gets here with his turtle port, the fight is over. Faker doesn't have mana to continue the play. And the dragon isn't even secured by Painter. It's just a huge disaster. Into this Ahri comp? I don't think so.
Yeah. This is also a lethality Varus as well, so I feel like the late game insurance isn't quite there, as there's another rupture onto Door, and he's just dead. And Navi hits
like
the
that,
level 6, and yeah, there goes the gold lead in the only lane you had it.
And just like that, it feels like this game might just be done. HLE winning critically on that dragon, getting the kill here also on the Doran. And like you said, lethality Varus in this draft not going to necessarily feel all that great.
Yeah, I just feel like the late game insurance isn't there as much. I feel like if they were able to roll that snowball, it's a different story. But, like, does Zeus ever die to lethality Varus?
It's also just kind of a weird game to play lethality Varus in, I feel.
There is a lot of mobile champions.
They're playing also, you know, this Comet variant into a Karma lane, so there isn't that much value there. It's a bit of a weird one. But yeah, on that dragon fight, I think they should have just let it go. They're going to look for a pick on Delight.
This is less weird. That is how you just kill a Karma.
Pretty good value on that serrated Dirk in that exchange.
Yeah, and this is what the pick is capable of, right? I'm really glad that we got that example, because you're supposed to be able to do that and then use that in order to get that snowball rolling. And T1 starting it off at least for now, but HLE still with so much control. 1.2k, the advantage. And their composition, I feel, is going to just age like a fine wine here in this game.
Cho'Gath very small still.
Yeah.
Love to see that little small Cho'Gath.
Does have a couple of feast stacks as he has hit level 7.
Yeah, he's got 2.
I'm trying to put that one on cooldown as often as possible. Good charm. Wow. Manages to land there from Zeka, but still Death Ray is flying on through. Pretty sure it's not called Death Ray anymore.
Ooh,
I apologize to
Navi.
anyone who actually cares.
Actually,
The Bastion Breaker?
yeah, he
No, it's not the Bastion Breaker.
did an oops and bought the correct item, the Cyclo Sword.
Okay. It would have been fun, though. That item got buffed. He was like,
Yeah.
wow, I can afford a Bastion Breaker. I should buy it. No, Cyclo Sword is just a little bit too good.
Much
for
better.
For the Nefiri.
This game is in a weird place right now, where, you know, Pays is the only one who has the advantage because he has those 2 kills. He's able to get one of them in the fight, as we might have to stop talking about that for a second, as we have a bit of a scuttle scuffle.
Yeah, Kanavi is going to be able to lock that one down, as the Piercing Arrow is only able to shed the shield from Delight. Cosmic Binding a little bit early there as Painter was moving in. Doran taking a lot of damage from these Vorpal spikes flying out from Zeus as the equalizer just to clear out the wave. Try and cheat some tempo here from Doran on the top side. Zeus just very happy to hang out up here.
Yeah, no, he really is. Doran has TP at least, so that's the good news. Won't have an equalizer anymore. But the game right now is so comfortable for HLE to play out because of the advantages they have right now. All they really need to do is show up to dragon fights and try to set up their engage with Zeka on this Ahri that's so far ahead. And this Victor, if you look at the item difference between this Ahri and the Victor, you know, it doesn't look good.
Yeah, well, Flash is available here for Faker. Kanavi is going to miss kind of everything and then run away. Faker good sidesteps here. Zeka looking for a bit of a reset. See what he can actually afford when he does go back home. Does have a lot of extra money, as this ward giving a lot of information over to T1 as to Delight's whereabouts. Carrier clears out vision of his own. 18 seconds from the second dragon of the game. Will be an Infernal to find out what the soul is going to be. As Carrier moving down towards his bottom side, Pays spotted, and Delight going to waste no time. Just flashes Gets himself out of there.
I think that's the right call. It is losing your support right before this important dragon would be disastrous and would be potentially giving T1 a big window back into this game.
But losing your support's flash is also a big deal. You really do want that to actually have any CC.
Luckily,
on this Karma.
He's a Karma, so you mentioned the CC, but he also might just be sitting back and lobbing Qs and dropping shields in this one. It's not like it's a Nautilus that lost flash that won't be able to get the prio target.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But still, I mean, it is value. It is value no matter what. As T1 would have liked to have the kill, but they'll have to settle for the flash in this case. As, getting access to this pit, pretty tough for this composition for T1. They're going to TP, Pays back in with the Ghost Blade, but this is just completely on lockdown as Keria will be fine, but I think this Dragon might just be having a HLE stamp on it in just a moment.
That's what it's looking like for now. Zeus taking some damage here, but, I mean, he's got a Spectre's Cowl. I feel like that item is built as an anti-rumble. So we'll be able to help keep Zeus somewhat healthy, as the Drake will be secured here by HLE. And T1 not going to have to sacrifice anyone. It's a Chemtech Soul. I feel like for a Cho'Gath, Chemtech Soul feels pretty all right, especially when you've got the Karma with all the shields. Not a bad game for it.
Oh, definitely really good for HLE. I think pretty low value overall for T1. I guess Victor doesn't hate it, but...
also the Ahri, you know, you've got a fair bit of sustain in your kit on the Ahri as well. Kind of cool. I do like looking for the angles for a Chemtech Soul to be good. It's kind of like my new Cloud Soul.
It's a little hobby we all had to pick up.
That's true.
When Chemtech was considered to be abysmal, we were all like, oh god, it's that one again, but we have to say that it's not worthless, but how do we say that it could be good? But it's a really good soul, I think, as we've all learned, but composition dependent, and in this game, I feel like there's way more value on the side of HLE. Have the double dragon and are closer to picking it up. So
I actually really love this build from Zeus. Just to go Spectre's Cowl and then finish your build.
Yeah, just because now you're not...
I don't like his positioning all that much, as he's standing on an equalizer for now. Pays stacks up the Blight, and down goes the Cho'Gath. Good pick here for T1.
Caster curses never escape them. Sorry, players.
Yeah.
Guma's going to get some plate gold here in the interim, so that's good news in return.
Yeah, it's not actually the worst situation for HLE.
As Faker's also kind of stuck under turret on the top side, so you lost the Cho'Gath, but that was the place where you put him on the weak side effectively. It's
a lot of damage.
He stacks that attack speed up. He's got his W running.
Well, the whole wave does get taken out here, as Doran is going to look to push this wave in. But Zeka will be able to catch that. Arcane Shift will get Guma out of the way of a potential piercing arrow. And T1 actually showing some forward momentum here as they move towards this outer turret. Blight moves forward, doesn't hit the Mantra Q, but that's because the bad guys were backing away.
Yeah, right now, this is a very fragile game. The lead is there for HLE, but with that last pick onto the Cho'Gath, a little bit of extra money in T1's pockets, it is a game that all they really need is to win one fight on an objective, particularly the Herald that is up in 1 minute, that get themselves right back in the driver's seat.
Yep. Faker gets silenced for a few moments, puts down the Gravity Field. I feel like Gravity Field should have extra power onto Cho'Gath because Gravity does hit him real hard.
He's big boned.
Yeah. And bones are heavy.
True.
But not actually going to be doing too much there. As Gumayushi and Pays just going to be facing off. There is the Blackfire Torch.
Yeah, Faker gets his first item here. X-Blade's been done for a little while here for Painter. Do you want to muster up a real team fight here? And the question is, can they get into position? As that turret is starting to take some big hits here with the grubs stacking on top of it. Can they get enough prio to look for a Herald fight? And how do they fight? Do they ult the backline? Do they try to use it defensively, the Nocturne ultimate, to allow for Faker and Pays to do more damage? This composition for T1 has a lot of moving pieces that don't really fit together like a jigsaw puzzle. It's a little bit more heavy-handed than that. And if you make one mistake in HLE's comp, I mean, you will just get punished. There's going to be a charm on a prio target, and Zeka's going to fly through the team fight, and Ezreal's going to be cleaning up house.
Keria was looking for a bit of an angle here, but they decide not to go for it. As Painter moved over towards this Herald pit. That was a very weird thing that happened.
Yeah, that was
with
a weird
Delight's W.
Mantra W. No, was it even Mantra? I don't think so.
It was just a inner fire, and not a whole lot really happened. Inner fire, is that the Q? Or I'm pretty sure. I'm just gonna say W. Snare, the attempted snare, the tether. I'm gonna say the tether. And it does it again.
Yeah,
there we go. We're just throwing tether everywhere. Yep, it is a little bit of a visual situation on the spectator side of things. As Kanavi looking to start off this Herald. And Doran catching a wave towards the bottom side. We've got to teleport back to the mid lane for Pays. As Painter standing on control vision does have his paranoia available. It's so weird seeing every single one of these Ws connect to Pays. It's not really connecting to him.
Yeah.
As the Rift Herald is going to be claimed here by Kanavi.
And T1 didn't get the fight they were looking for. This could not actually hold on to that control.
30 seconds.
A lot of
they might get another one, though.
A lot of it for HLE was just the fact that Delight was up there helping challenge their rotation. You know, funny about the visual bug that we were talking about coming into play, but a lot of that was him just walking up and saying, no, you can't punish me, and I'm going to help keep control over this zone, and you will not be able to get access. He does end up taking a big shot here, though, from Pays.
Oh, 2 items are done here for Kanavi as well. If he can actually make his way back, taking this dragon could be difficult. True Shot Barrage. Man, that's a lot of damage from Guma. As Pays might need to go home yet again. He just teleported back in.
Though, is pretty helpful.
True. The buffed up Hex, the Chemtech fruit.
Yeah.
Pretty nice as Carrier going to get charmed by Zeka. It's a lot of combo damage. Does have to flash to get himself out of the way, and I think that means Soul Point goes over to HLE. Slowly but surely.
Slowly Legends is back.
Losing their grip on this game.
Slowly Legends is back. Who says Kanavi can't just walk over to an objective and take it? He doesn't have to go in. He knows it. He likes to go in, but he also knows when it's not time to.
Yep.
Just to play through Guma's Ezreal, by the way. I think we should see this one more often. Looking pretty good in that last exchange. Gets the empowered True Shot Barrage and takes half of Pays' health casually as he's been controlling this mid lane. 0-0 and 0, but is going to transform his Muramana potentially faster.
Oh dear. There's another Rupture landing. Oh, he's silenced, so I guess he can't do anything. There we go. Gotta love an archaic kit from this Cho'Gath to make Faker's life a living hell. We've got an equalizer coming down here as Doran is going to be in a lot of trouble. There's the snare. Charm going to connect as well. As Zeka not going to be able to finish this kill off. There wasn't an arm guard or anything like that on Doran, but after the flash, they do just get themselves out of there. And now Shelly going to get driven into... Never mind, not this turret. Let's see how the drifting's going to go.
Doran is like, whew, glad I'm backing right now.
Got another Tempered Fate there. Carry out. We might need it in the bottom lane. As there is the charge, and the turret is going to go down.
Might need it for Guma's W's coming through.
Okay, Painter looking for Guma. And the fear not going to quite work there because there is a cleanse on a Gumayushi, and he gets himself out scot-free. Well, by scot-free, I mean with both summoners now down. And he comes back and takes the turret down. Kanavi, are you kidding? That's not how this one's supposed to go. Azais looking to find Faker again, but there's the gravity field. Pretty hard to get off it if you are the Cho'Gath.
They're going to try to kill him.
Well, he's going to teleport and just gets himself out of the way.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. Once the gravity field is down, there's no way to stop this guy from just getting out. So he's going to put some pressure on this turret at the same time on the bottom side. And T1 not having any control over this map, having a really tough game here. Macro-wise, Hanwha Life are just putting them in on the back foot. They really just don't have any agency. They haven't all game long. And now Doran is also going to get caught up here with this wave too far up. I think he's going to get caught.
Oh,
is he the luckiest player of all time? Luckiest player of all time.
There we go. And he's just going to get out of there. Beautifully done.
But that's not even good news necessarily.
Hey, but it's not bad news.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, that's a fair point.
Neutral news is better than bad news.
That's definitely true.
I could have said news, couldn't I? Because it's not news. That's not a word. I don't think that's real. Never mind. I'm Australian. Okay, Charm going to last hit.
Thank you for clarifying. If anyone was wondering why he talks that way.
And honestly, I might be sounding a little bit more Australian because my parents are visiting at the moment, and so I've been chatting to my dad a lot. And so I might just be getting a bit more Australian.
He's pulling the Vegemite out in the break.
Yeah,
sure.
see, the Vegemite excuse comes through. I'm sorry, it's all the Tim Tams. Can't help it. Okay. Zeka and Doran doing battle here towards the top side. 3.4k the advantage for HLE. They've got Soul Point, and the next Drake is up in about a minute and a half. The Baron has just spawned about 30 seconds ago, so a chance for T1 to do one of those cheeky Baron takes. But I just really don't think that they can risk giving away the soul to HLE as Gumayusi hits the 2-item spike right when they need him to as well.
I mean, it's hard to make the right choices, T1, in this game. You know, what is the correct move? Like, who do you try to Nocturne ult? From this far behind, there isn't a great target. Arm Guard is here for Zeka.
Yeah, 2 items and the Arm Guard. Feels like 3, to be honest.
And if you ult Guma, you're ulting so deep that it's not going to work. There's going to be follow-up.
Yeah, it does have to take the magical journey out.
The map control, I don't think, could be better here for HLE. It has been so oppressive all game long. T1 just don't have angles. Okay, maybe this one angle on a support? No.
Oh no, the Inspire. Just going to get him out of the way. Doesn't even take damage from the Death Rays. Look at this! Zeus is so frightening! Not even on the gravity well this time around, but he does get feared by Painter. The problem is, with Faker moving away, they're not going to have damage for him. Zeka teleports in to protect his top laner.
This is his job in this game, is to just kind of be a big, scary guy and be relatively close to T1. And so
a looming threat.
The other targets that T1 can kill, they can't get access to because this annoying Cho'Gath is right in everybody's faces.
And you cannot face check HLE. If they are grouped as 5, like, a person will die no matter who you are. And I feel like T1, they need their ducks in a row. They need everyone there and to land their combos if they're going to win.
Everybody has burst, including the Cho'Gath, who's super tanky.
And especially including Gumayusi, who just hit them with a True Shot Barrage to do half the health bars of a couple of people. Now, HLE have started up this Drake. T1, they know that they have to fight for this one. HLE going to hold them in position. The Rupture goes wide, but Faker is so incredibly low. Look at the health bar on this Cho'Gath! How do you get through him? He's got 6 stacks of Feast.
Yeah, the paranoia is up, but Zeus is coming towards the bad guys. He doesn't care if it's dark.
And now he has a Chemtech Soul as well, Wolf.
Yeah, no, I think this one is just all over but the Cryon at this point. It's only a 3,000 gold lead. Like, it's only a 3,000 goal lead. It's just a compositional problem here for T1. They don't have map control. They can't play the game when they're behind and they can't see the enemies. Like, that's the first paranoia we've seen in a really long time. And it just didn't do anything. At least it's on a relatively short cooldown. Maybe we could do something again.
Yeah, but he's a little bit lacking when it comes to the stacks.
The targets also that he's trying to ult aren't changing either next time he presses this. Faker!
Oh my god! And we've seen this one before. Faker is running in the wrong direction because he knows there was no way out of this. He's going to die on his own terms, and I respect it. Kanavi, though, moves up to 2-1-5 on this Nefiri. And HLE just kind of feels like they can do no wrong right now.
HLE, okay, they're doubling down on this.
Hang on, this might be wrong. This might be doing a wrong. Although it's going to take a while to kill him.
Can you hurt him?
He kind of yells at Painter here momentarily as the teleport does bring them in. Pace is just going to die though as Kanavi. He goes untargetable. That is going to be the ulti down, and they might be able to kill this doggo. The paranoia comes in. Painter will take him out, but now it's Gumayusi against Carrier and Doran, and Zeka is moving up to join. Kind of misses everything, but Carrier is still likely to die as he does take the magical journey out. True Shot Barrage finishes off Gumayusi's old partner, and Doran, he's gonna do it again. Never mind. He's not gonna trust it this time around, and he is just going to flash his way towards the jungle and maybe escape.
Wasting their time.
Question mark?
So they can't maybe get this Baron when Paze respawns. All right, so success. He actually is able to escape as well, which is kind of crazy. T1. Not enjoying their time on the Rift here, but they almost turned that into a winning play, right? So initially I'm watching this going, okay, well, Faker is surely dead. There's no way out of this. There's no salvaging this play. But his teammates are also coming up, right? So yes, he dies here, but they want to make this longer play happen with Paze. Watch what Zeus does in his dying moments here, as it takes a really long time and an extra teleport from Doran, and like a dying moment is actually quite long. But he flashes onto Paze.
Oh yeah, the flash feast.
He flash feasts him, and without Paze's damage, the rest of this fight is just too hard to actually finish. The next paranoia from Painter is to trade his life for the Nefiri, but once Guma is here and there's no Paze, it's a wash. And then Zeka, it's over. But that Flash Feast was fight defining because he bought so much time and then killed the AD carry.
Yeah, I think Zeka did like 10 damage carrier there. Didn't actually matter ultimately in the end as Carrier is going to get interrupted. Magical Journey does come on through, but the ulti will follow him. Good Cosmic Binding, but Carrier is still very dead. Paranoia into the bottom lane. Let's see what they can get done here as the Rupture comes on through, but it's spell shielded. Gravity Field comes down. This is taking 400 years. And Zeus, let's see what you can do. Misses that Rupture. Why is this taking so long? As he takes down Painter, and he's still alive. What the heck was that? That was very silly. Zeka going to try and defend this turret. It's going to take a little bit of defense. And the Baron is the trade.
I know that we use the term weak side to define this type of setup, but I don't know if weak really covers it in this case, as his TP was interrupted on that extended kill, but he trades one back onto the enemy jungler.
Invincible side. Let's call it invincible side.
I like that. As Carrier here is just, let's just say a bit too far forward. Thinks he's in his own jungle, but there is no T1 jungle on the top side of the map. And on the weak side, please don't make me watch it again.
The jungler also shows himself down here.
The fear comes through.
Look at them hitting him so much. So much. Painter even gets the attack speed buff from the spell shield and just gets Vorpally spiked.
It's funny because he probably could have just walked away, but he didn't. Okay, this is an hold on to a prio target.
There we go. Gumayusi gonna arcane shift and die. There he goes.
I need a lot more information about how that all went down, as Delight here is going to avoid the ult from Carrier.
Zeka diving in. Kanavi goes untargetable for a few moments. The equalizer is down, and Zeus is massive. But they need to keep Kanavi alive, and he is going to stay alive and pick up so many kills. It's a double as he takes down Carrier. Paze will be able to at least get rid of the doggo. But they haven't even begun to deal with Zeus' massive health bar. And Zeka executes Faker off to the side. Chemtech Soul, I imagine, played a bit of a part in that last fight.
Absolutely. It played a huge part in that long extended play on the Zeus as well. It's just so hard to kill these targets. And
330 stacks, hot steel.
Yeah, I don't think this game, like this fight was the last chance back in the game here for T1, right? They deleted the 80 carry and still couldn't win the fight. Rumble comes in, they have all the tools. By the way, HLE are split. And yet this charm here from Zeka ends up being pretty huge. He also has that arm guard from earlier to use to stay alive here, gets back over the wall to kite through. And Faker barely survives, but he can't rejoin his teammates. Paze just gets eaten again, and Faker wants to go for the outplay here, actually. But
yeah, I think he just knew that Zeus would be able to get on top of him. I respect it from Faker, but unfortunately it's not game-winning. And Endless Hug to be completed by Gumayusi. Look at all of these Magi stacks for Zeka. That Forbidden Book is almost ready for publish. And he's going to look to dive on top of Carrier and Doran. Just kind of misses a bunch of buttons there, but they do navigate their way out. Kanavi finding some Darkened Daggers onto Doran. It's a bit of an alliteration, but he also might be a little bit dead. Untargetable goes the doggo as the Arcane Storm is down. Painter gets into the backline, but everyone just scatters immediately. The Arcane Storm is decent, but Zeus just flash eats him. Down goes the Rumble. Delicious, says the Cho'Gath. He might die for it, but it looked pretty cool while he did it. Kanavi also killed the Nocturne, and it's a one trade here for HLE.
The health bars are low.
Okay, Kanavi, I don't know about this one, as Paze does have a lot of DPS, and down will go the dog. And there is the Tempered Fate onto Gumayusi. Not able to land that Mystic Shot as these health bars are not infinite. But Gumayusi, the Arcane Shift. It's so clean, but the minion wave comes on forward.
It's just so risky to actually keep pushing here as HLE. Kanavi. Their health bars were super low, and they're in such a strong position in this game. They don't need to force. And I was just giving Kanavi credit for like the pivot after what happened in game one about how slowly he's played this third game. This part is fine. This part is fine.
I can imagine that
Kanavi also, I mean, look, he's Cho'Gath. He's like, I'm just going to walk at 4 people and they won't be able to do anything. There are a lot of damage dealers there that you're walking at, and a turret.
All right, Faker just trying to farm this mid lane, but he does get a bunch of buttons down, but he is still just going to die. A little bit too far up as there's the teleport in. 4 versus 5. Elder Dragon already had been started here by T1. Look at Zeus' health bar. We don't have enough resolution for it.
Yeah, you can't see it.
Yeah, it's gotten to the point where it kind of looks like he's a minion because like the little lines weren't possible to be seen. Okay, that was ridiculous.
I've never seen that before.
No, neither have I. He has really gone even further beyond.
They have, by the way, Feast and Smite. Good luck.
The paranoia comes down. They're going to turn the lights off. As T1, they look to engage. There is the Tempered Fate. They try to lock them down. It's stolen by Pace. Somehow he pulls a Gumayushi. But can they actually win the fight? That's the question. Pace gets the cleanse out. Kanavi is going to be taken down. But I don't think you're ever getting to this Cho'Gath execute threshold. Oh no! Doran is going to survive, and Faker had respawned, but he doesn't get the Elder buff.
Now they couldn't kill the Cho'Gath, but I don't know if HLE can end the game right now. I mean, this is a really huge Cho'Gath, but that's a lot of damage with the Elder buff still applying here onto Zeus.
I kind of want Zeus to not get any more kills or deaths or assists.
The equalizer,
because if he dies as a big aeroplane, I'm going to be so happy.
The equalizer is going to be pretty tough to actually fight through as well here as Doran gets it back up here in 3 seconds. Pings on the Baron for T1. They know that's the next port of call for this game. They still have to deal with that bottom wave as we're going to go all the way back to this one for some reason. This is what happens right before the Elder. The reason why they're able to get the steal is because the Tempered Fate goes onto the Cho'Gath.
Oh my goodness.
Pulls a Guma into Guma. And then look at how well he kites this out. He saves the game here literally.
Yeah.
Almost gets Delight as well.
Yeah, that's the thing. The fact that he aims it actually with Delight in mind is insane. And almost also gets the Ahri. T1 fans not ready to celebrate just yet, but the Baron has respawned.
I mean, this is, I mean, it's a really tough spot for T1 still, but suddenly a playable game because they can use this Elder on their defense of their Baron take. Keria has his ult back up. This is really scary here for HLE fans with so much control until this moment.
All right, they're engaging onto the Cho'Gath, seeing whether they can take down Zeus. Painter dives in, but they barely get his health bar down. Now Zeka dashing forward. Tempered Fate is going to lock down Kanavi for a moment. It's Pace. Great sidestep on that Rupture. And Doran just trying to spread the damage around as much as possible. 20 seconds left on that Elder.
Zeus doesn't have TP, so he can't just, back and go in. He's going to have to heal up here and then head back in. He is going to get his health back pretty quickly.
The base is in trouble, though. That inhibitor being down on the bottom lane.
They have to defend.
Puts a timer on.
And HLE are going to be able to get this Baron. T1 went for the gamble, trying to burst down the Cho'Gath, or at least force them out of the fight so they can win the longer fight. But HLE played it slow. They went out. Let's see if they can steal again.
Yeah, and they do have Feast Smite. Like you said, the Rupture comes on through. Will they get it? Yes, they will. There we go. Nailed it. Second attempt is going to work out. So, Baron secured here by HLE, and T1 forced onto the back foot, desperately trying to defend. 33 minutes into the game, close to 34. It's a 5.5k gold advantage. That is not, like, game ending, right?
But with Baron buff and this incredibly difficult to kill Cho'Gath,
and a 25 stack Majai's Ahri.
600 Heartsteel stacks, or 556.
That's
a lot.
That's some ARAM stats right there. Is okay. In goes Painter once again. There goes Painter once again. And Pace is almost just dead as well. Oh God, Zeus is breaking the game again with this ludicrous health bar as he teleports in. The Vorpal spikes as well, doing a lot of work. Faker just going to get pushed out of his own base. Zeus will actually be taken out, but the Rupture is massive before he dies. And now Gumayushi is dashing forward. The GA comes on through. It is a great cosmic binding there onto Kanavi, but he is still able to help lock down the kill onto Keria. Doran trying to sidestep. It doesn't work. Guma goes to 7, 1, and 6. And these Nexus turrets will be taken out. Humble Life Esports will finally get on the board here in this round robin. You can see they're pretty psyched about it.
Yeah. It was a really interesting series. I think T1.
Just water, but all they needed.
Actually, I heard it's just peanut butter. Even better.
Oh god, it's the fact that Zeus is kind of breaking the spectator client with his health bar is just so funny. But then the fact that T1 even get through the health bar.
Yeah, it's crazy that T1 are able to kill him.
Yeah, Leandris is one heck of an item, I guess.
HLE are pushing through 2 inhibitor turrets to try to make this happen. They are able to successfully do it, but you can feel the stress and the urgency in the comms here for HLE. They're starting to get worried that that Elder secure might have cost them big, but they are able to clean it up in the end and take the series 2-1. I think I have gotten 1 prediction right this week so far.
Oh no! Which one was it? Was it DNS not winning?
Yes, that was the one, yeah.
Wow.
So
well, at least you got
basically I've gotten 0 actual predictions right.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do you like that. Oh no. So perhaps it's going to be a bit of a disaster. It is Zeus picking up player of the match. Game number 1 we do not want to really think about, but games 2 and 3, I mean, he was the main character. The ambassador getting that.